To make gluten-free cheddar cheese crackers, I take 2½ cups blanched almond flour, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and a 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. Mix that together with a cup of freshly grated cheddar cheese. Mix it well, and I will confess that this wasn't freshly grated. I bought it already grated. Set that aside, and then take 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. My coconut oil is very liquidy. The original recipe calls for grapeseed oil, but I'm going to use coconut oil. And then you're going to take 2 eggs, add that to the coconut oil, and beat all that together until it's mixed thoroughly. Again, here I really should have the dry mixture in a bigger bowl for ease of mixing, but add the egg and coconut oil mixture to the almond flour and cheddar cheese mixture and mix it to combine. You kind of want it to, it'll come together in a dough, and that's what you're going for. Then you're going to want to divide the dough in half so that you basically have 2 balls of dough, and we're only going to work with 1/2 at a time. Earlier, I measured out 3 pieces of parchment paper that were the same size as my cookie sheet, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of flatten this into sort of a rectangular-ish shape, and then I'm going to put one of the spare pieces of parchment on top of it and use my rolling pin to roll it out to about 1/16 of an inch thickness. I like to kind of start in the middle and then move out in all directions, and really with the dough in between the pieces of parchment paper like this, sometimes you don't even need to roll the rolling pin. You can kind of just use the weight of the rolling pin to smooth the dough out in between the sheets of parchment paper. We're going for an even thickness, so if you need to kind of check and make sure that the dough is getting rolled out evenly, it's always a good idea to do that, and that way you can make any adjustments as necessary. Once it's all rolled out, then you're going to slip that piece of parchment paper onto your cookie sheet, and then taking a cookie cutter, cut the crackers. We're going for sort of 2-inch squares, but the dough is kind of an unusual shape, so we're not going to get perfect squares on the edges. And I'm really just guesstimating the measurements at this point. Don't worry, if you lose a piece, you can just put it right back in place and it'll be just fine. Then once you have all of your squares cut, it will be ready to go into the oven. The recipe says to give it 12 to 15 minutes at 350. Well, the ones on the bottom rack below there got close to 15 minutes. The ones that I have here on this top rack got a little bit longer, and they're definitely crunchier. You want to let them cool for half an hour, and then you can break them into squares and enjoy.